Hello YouTube, Basin Truck here, and today we're going to look at this Stihl FS110R string trimmer.
Take a seat and don't forget to watch my other videos.
Now this trimmer is somebody's backup. They went to go use it and it didn't work. So they said, hey, let's bring it to Basin Truck. He can figure it out. So immediately upon looking at it, I noticed the first thing is the primer bulb is cracked.
Here I'll show you guys the crack in the fuel primer bulb. Grab my screwdriver, push it down. Now you can really easily see it. It's just fallen apart from the fuel wear and tear over the years. So it happens, it's normal.
Won't hold any fuel. So it's going to suck air, it's not running. So that's step one. So we bought a little fuel kit for it. Comes with a couple primer bulbs, a fuel filter, and an extra air filter. So we're going to start with putting that on, and we're going to see what happens. Do this. Typically working on these Stihls, a lot of the bolts are a T27 Torx pit. So I've got that. Some of them are number 2 Phillips. I've got that. And sometimes you just need a flathead. So we've got one of those too. So we're going to start. We're going to pull the cover off. That is a flathead or a T27. So I'll just use the T27. We'll break this off. The cover for the air filter. So there we've got the air filter. See how this looks. Oh, you can tell it's been soaked in gasoline. It stinks. I've seen cleaner things, but we'll set that to the side. Next we have, well, I didn't come prepared for that. This one actually uses some nuts on the end of the studs that hold the carburetor on. So I will have to go grab the correct size. It looks to be about 8mm, so we'll see if I'm right. And with the magic of video editing, I'm back! Let's see if this 8mm fits. It does. So, I'm going to take off these nuts so we can access the carburetor. There we go, number 1. Number 2. Alright, we're going to pull this cover off. No, we're not. There is a screw over here. Which is smaller than a T27. I had to go grab a T25 and a T20 because there's a screw on the back side here at the top that needs to come out to get this cover off. It's not a T25, it is a T20. So there we go. Now this should gently slide off. There is a breather at the bottom, so you want to make sure you don't yank that or break it. Now you could slide it off, but I don't think I'm going to need to at the moment. So now we've got access to the carburetor here. The fuel primer bulb are just some flatheads or Phillips. It's got both. 4 screws. Take that off. Oh. It looks like I might... No, I should be able to slide this out. You cannot access these last 2 screws for the primer bulb because they're under this yellow plastic, so I'm going to try to scoot this carburetor forward a little bit. Alright, I undid the throttle cable. There we go. Now we can get to the other screws. Okay. And this should just pop right off. Get under a corner a little bit. or use your flat head. So there we go. We've got the broken fuel primer bulb off. You can see it's got a hole through it. It's cracked. It's no good. So we're going to replace that with one of these new ones. So we just slide it up in and do the reverse of what we just did. I'm going to get paper towel here and just clean up any residue and dirt that's sitting up here. Now we're just going to reinstall it back on the carburetor. Get it all lined up. Get your screwdriver. Put the screws back in. I don't tighten them all the way yet. I just get them in, get it snug down. Try to go in a pattern, clockwise, counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on it because the metal these carburetors are made out of can strip out real easily. So once you've got it snug down, just give it a little twist. Just get it tight. You'll feel it. It's not going to take much, maybe a quarter turn. So there we go. Now we've got the fuel primer bulb on. Once you've got that on, just slide it back in gently. It'll seat. Now I'm not going to put the fuel filter in right now because it's completely full of fuel. I probably will throw on this new air filter though. It's stiffer than the stock one. The stock Stihl filter here is kind of soft, but it could be because it's soaked in fuel. This one is definitely a lot firmer. Now I will reattach the throttle cable because that's important. Now there is a loop up here that allows it to pivot. You want to make sure that you get that back on there, otherwise it will jam up. It won't work properly. See if I can get a shot of that for you. Right here, this plastic hooks up. After you've got it on, test it, make sure it's functioning. Seems to be good. We're going to start putting the covers back on. Get this snug and then tighten it down a little bit. You can easily strip these studs out, so it doesn't take much. There we go, nice and tight. Well, it would appear that the new air filter, the hole is smaller, so it will not fit over this shaft. So I've grabbed the unibit and I'm going to sit here and just do it by hand, and it looks to be about 1/2 inch. So just put it in there, spin it by hand, get it to cut. Clean off any debris, and then let's try to put it in there. Like I said, this one is a lot stiffer than the stock one, so you want to be careful, but there we go. Foam side out, we're good. I'll put the cover on, figure out which way it goes. Screw it together. Now that it's all back together, we're going to test it out. So we'll turn on the switch, put on the choke. I'll come over here so I can get a better angle. And we'll give it a fire. It looks like it's working. I think we're done. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. Throw a comment down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.